as we got a lot to get to. Phillies get the win last night in Chicago. Impressive win by the Phillies for a couple of reasons. We'll get to that coming up here. Plus, Dave Weinberg joins us for a Weinberg Wednesday coming up here on 97.3 ESPN. Also, co-owner of Bright Spot Cafe this week sees the deal opportunity. We have Shannon Brower, the co-owner. Her and her husband Tommy own Bright Spot Cafe on the corner of 40th and Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. She will join me coming up in about 40 minutes from now to talk about Bright Spot Cafe and what exactly did Jason Kelsey and Bo Allen order when they were eating out in Sea Isle. We'll get to all that coming up a little bit later in the show. And of course, you guys can join the conversation. Hope you're being safe out there as you drive around. 609-403-0973. Your D-line, your DMs into the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank. Yeah, look, I gotta tell you guys, it's been one of those days. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, but let's get to the Phillies last night, because I was impressed by a couple of takeaways from last night's Phillies game that I thought are significant. One of them being, obviously, Michael Mercado's poise. He looked like a major league pitcher last night. Now, he wasn't necessarily dominant. He wasn't necessarily the best pitcher on planet Earth or anything like that, but he pitched well. And I think that, for me, that is what the Phillies need right now. One of the frustrating aspects of when you watch a guy like Taijuan Walker go out there is he doesn't look like he's competent at times. He looks like a guy who doesn't always have it. And I think for the average sports fan, you feel like that's just not good enough. And you would be right. It's not good enough to just be, oh, we found a way to win. It's not good enough to be the team that is just finding a way to barely win because your pitcher couldn't do his job, or the pitcher couldn't survive the third time through the batting order, or in some cases, Major League Baseball, the second time through the batting order. Mercado looked like a pitcher who was ready for the moment on the road at Wrigley Field. Now, he wasn't the best pitcher in the world. He didn't strike out 10 guys. He's not Paul Skeens or anybody like that. But what he did show you is he was able to work his way in and out of situations. And I think that Mercado, as I talked about last night on game night here on 97.3 ESPN, if he pitches well last night, and then the game in Atlanta coming up, you may have to have a conversation about maybe trading Turnbull, or what are you going to do when Walker comes back? Because Mercado is starting to look like the real deal for this organization, and for an organization that has promised us Mick Abel, Griff McGarry, Andrew Painter. I'm starting to wonder if I want any of those guys. You know, Abel has struggled in the minor leagues the last few years. Griff McGarry has not been good enough to get to the major leagues. And who knows how long Andrew Painter will take before he gets to his apex coming off of Tommy John surgery. If I'm the Phillies, I consider trading Turnbull, Abel, and McGarry away if I'm going to upgrade this roster moving forward. I think Mercado looks way more ready for the moment. He looks way more ready for the big show than those guys do. And to me, that's a significant conversation that needs to be had. Look, I'm not saying I hate any of these guys, but if Mercado can be this guy and he pitches well in Atlanta, I think you have the real conversation that maybe he is the future, and maybe not a Mick Abel, maybe not a Griff McGarry. Because guess what Mercado is doing at the major league level? He's not doing it in the minor leagues. How many times we talk about college basketball players? Well, he was great in college, but not so good in the NBA. The Jimmer Fredette's of the world, right? These guys who were these amazing college scorers, right? Couldn't do it in the NBA. It's part of the conversation that needs to be had. People talked for so long about Abel and McGarry and Painter as the future. What if Mercado is the future? And if he is, you're not sending him back down to the minors. No, you're going to put him back in the bullpen where he was also pitching well. I very much look at Mercado as potentially the future of this team when it comes to the fourth and fifth starters. And if he is that, then maybe you need to trade Mick Abel and or Griff McGarry before other teams figure out that they're not as good as they think he is as well. Now, on the other side of the coin, encouraging from last night, Phillies win in Chicago, Trey Turner and Jeff Hoffman looked like all-stars. Trey Turner, it was more than the 2 home runs. It was the 4 RBI overall. He looks like he's fully back after missing 6 weeks. If Turner can keep hitting the way he is, he could maybe carry this offense to the All-Star break. And with Kyle Schwarber potentially going to be back in about 6-7 days and Harper aiming to be back by the All-Star break, you could have a fully healthy team coming out of the break, including JT Realmuto. And if Turner is able to put together the type of at-bats like he had last night, maybe not always hitting home runs, but the quality of bats, the patience, the attacking the baseball, he's going to do more than just earn that $300 million contract he signed. And by the way, Jeff Hoffman, I don't know if he is going to be an all-star or not, but he looked like a high-level bullpen pitcher last night, coming in, putting out the fire. He looked like an all-star caliber bullpen arm. And I might ask the question, is Jeff Hoffman the most trustworthy Phillies bullpen arm? He very well may be. He may not be at the best stuff, but he looks like the guy with the most ice water in his veins, at least. And sometimes being the guy who's cool, calm, and collected under pressure is more important than having the 99, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. All right, we'll check back at the text board a little bit later this hour, 609-403-0973. But coming up next, it's a Weinberg Wednesday. Dave Weinberg will join me as well a little bit later. We'll talk with Shannon Brower, co-owner of Bright Spot Cafe in Seattle City. This week sees the deal. Get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. Yes, $50 worth of restaurant gift certificates for just $25. The Bright Spot Cafe. This week's Seize the Deal goes live at 9 a.m. at seizethedeal.com. Josh Hennick hanging out with you on a Hump Day Wednesday edition of Game Night on 97.3 ESPN.
The 4th of July on ESPN Radio.
Let's go! And there go the fireworks.
First at Wrigley, Cody Bellinger and the Chicago Cubs welcome the NL East leading Philadelphia Phillies. Then in Atlanta, Marcell Ozuna leads the Atlanta Braves against the San Francisco Giants. The Phillies at the Cubs at 1:30 Eastern, followed by the Giants at the Braves at 6:30 Eastern. The 4th of July on ESPN Radio.
It's Phillies baseball on 97.3 ESPN.
The seafood extraordinary, the value tremendous, the sunsets on the house. It's Yuri's Waterfront Restaurant. Dine indoors or on the deck overlooking the bay. The Phillies are always on at Yuri's. Watch the game and enjoy daily food and drink specials, including all-you-can-eat crab backed by popular demand. Yuri's is perfect for families with a kids menu and arcade. Next door to Yuri's is the Boathouse Restaurant. 2 great ways to experience the Jersey Shore's best waterfront dining. Yuri's and the Boathouse at the foot of the bridge in Wildwood.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages from brands like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. Get the LG French door refrigerator with craft ice to keep your summer cool. Or upgrade to the LG Smart Top Load washer with AI that selects optimal wash motions and settings. Get up to $2,400 off select kitchen packages at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid June 19th through July 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details. America's most reliable line of appliances per independent study.
Take $7,500 off MSRP or pay 0% for 60 months and make no payments until after Labor Day during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event.
It's gotta be a Matte Black Kia.
You heard right. Take $7,500 off MSRP on every clearly marked EV in stock. Have a job clearing $450 per week? Matte Black Kia wants to approve you today with 0 down and 0 payments until after Labor Day on every new Matte Black Kia in stock. Plus, with our 4-day love it or leave it return policy, you can drive with peace of mind. So if you're currently stuck in a loan or lease, we want to get you released.
It's gotta be a Matte Black Kia.
Open 9 to 5 on 4th of July with approved credit. 24 Nero EV and EV6, 1667 per thousand. Not all will qualify. Credit may affect down payments. Offers can't be combined. Go to MattBlackKiaNJ.com for complete details or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes through KMF. $7,500 off from $7,500 customer cash. EV6 rebates and incentives to dealer. Expires 7/6/24. Matte Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Powered by the all-new BetParks New Jersey Casino and Sportsbook app. BetParks.com. This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
The Sixers have been a little quiet since the first 2 days of free agency. I'm Nick Earnshaw with your South Jersey Sports Center and with your 97.3 ESPN question of the day. With things cooling off for the Sixers since the multitude of moves earlier in the week, it got us thinking here at 97.3 ESPN, what type of player should the 76ers target next? Let us know by texting 609-403-0973 or use the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. In my opinion, I think they got to continue to target shooters off of the bench. They want to go after wing guys as well as guards. Obviously, you still need a power forward to start for you. They still have to fill that hole. So there's still things that need to be filled for the 76ers overall. But I think another shooter off the bench at a minimum, like a Seth Curry, could be an option. Once again, text it at 609-403-0973. Your forecast is next.
Hello, I'm the Atlantic County Prosecutor William Reynolds. As the leader of the Chief Law Enforcement Agency of Atlantic County, we work tirelessly to ensure that our community is safe and secure. This summer, thousands of residents and visitors will head out to enjoy Atlantic County's world-famous shoreline and recreational destinations. I am asking you to partner with us by making safety a part of your summer plans. When you hit the road, always remember to buckle up, travel at safe speeds, and watch for pedestrians, and never drive impaired. If you plan to drink alcohol or under the influence of drugs, don't drive. Designate a sober driver or use a ride share. Research shows that using a ride share prevents impaired driving and saves more than 600 lives each year. Before you get into a ride share, always look for identifying placards on the front and rear windows of the vehicle. Rideshare drivers are required to display these identifying markers to ensure that you are safely entering the correct vehicle. Let's work together to have a safe and memorable summer season.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chris Coleman. Our streak of beautiful summertime weather here in South Jersey will continue for the next couple of days, but things will turn unsettled, of course, just in time for the long holiday weekend. Partly cloudy for tonight, down to 58. Sunny again tomorrow, up to 83. Then for the 4th, a mix of sun and clouds, chance of an afternoon thunderstorm with a high of 91, and that'll pretty much be the case all the way through the upcoming weekend. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free app today.
From playtime to showtime, Atlantic City always serves classic summer fun with a twist of cool. Visit AtlanticCityNJ.com to win an overnight getaway.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
We'll check back on the text board in just a bit at 609-403-0973. Your DMs into the 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. But right now, joining me for a Weinberg Wednesday. Him and I didn't get a chance to talk on a Wednesday last week, but we will today because July 4th is a Thursday. Dave Weinberg is back with us on the phone line, 97.3 ESPN.com extra point columnist, joining me each week here on game night. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Josh. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So I got to tell you, for a team that is without not one, not two, but three potential all-stars, the Phillies are finding ways to win. And I think it's a huge positive, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they're defying my expectations. That's for sure. I thought they were going to struggle a little bit without Schwarber and Harper, Realmuto. But yeah, they're just picking up where they left off. They got great role players. It seems like a different person steps up when they need a big pitching performance. It's either Sanchez or Mercado, pitching well at his major league debut. Yeah, everything seems to be clicking for them.
I love the fact that Mercado pitched well last night, selfishly, Dave, because now we can have the conversation about should we even keep these guys like Mick Abel and Griff McGarry? I mean, Abel and McGarry can't even pitch well enough in the minor leagues to get to the big leagues because they were the big prospects. Right now, Mercado comes right on up, pitches 5 innings, 1 earned run. Now you can maybe have the conversation about, hey, if you want to go get someone, maybe you can coerce some other team to say, hey, Mick Abel's a really good pitcher and make him somebody else's problem now.
Yeah, I mean, it's one start's probably not much of a sample size, but yeah, he pitched very well yesterday, and if they want to make a move, they're going to have to part with some prospects. So you're right. I mean, those guys were previously considered, untouchable, along with guys like Crawford and a couple other guys. But if you think you need that extra bat or you need that extra arm, then yeah, you definitely need to. I think you're in a position where you can afford to part with one of those guys.
You said bat or arm. Does Dave Weinberg have a preference on what he thinks the Phillies need more?
Arm, I think. I don't know. I just like to see that bullpen a little more solidified. I mean, they have been pitching well, by and large, but I would if there's like a setup guy or maybe even a closer that's available that can be had by a team that's already decided they're not in it for the rest of the year, then I think I would go ahead and do that. I don't know. I think their offense is fine, especially when those guys come back from injuries.
See, I'm greedy. I want both because
you want a center fielder, right?
Well, I want an outfielder. You know what I mean? Because
okay.
I mean, this whole idea that I can't depend on Castellanos to fully come around one day. I can't put Brandon Marsh out there consistently and have a ton of faith in him that he's going to hit. I mean, Rojas is basically here for his defense. Pache is a waste. Merrifield's had a horrible year. So I need somebody else out there.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, they probably do need some more depth. I mean, they have a lot of guys, but they don't have the guy.
Right.
So yeah, I can see your thinking there, where you want a guy who's like the guy for the White Sox, I guess, for example, where you can just plug him in and your center field problems or outfield problems are settled, at least somewhat, 1/3 of it anyway.
I mean, I'm not even sure if I want Luis Robert Jr. because of the fact that the guy's had one healthy year his entire baseball career.
Yeah.
Like that. Now you're getting into Sixers territory where you're bringing, arguments about Joel Embiid and Paul George. I need to bring that to the baseball diamond. I don't need that kind of stress in my life.
Yeah, I'm with you. I guess it depends on the philosophy. If they're in like kind of win now mode where they don't think the window of opportunity is going to stay open forever, then go ahead and get who you can get. But as somebody pointed out, there's a lot of prospects, a lot of highly regarded prospects. They have a really rich farm system. So you got a bunch of guys in their 30s now. So do you make the move and try and win now, or do you wait until those prospects are ready to take over for the guys that are getting a little bit long in the tooth?
Yeah, that's a tough decision. Dave Weinberg joining us for a Weinberg Wednesday here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Extra point columns at 97.3 ESPN.com, on Twitter, X at Dave Weinberg 19. Because like a guy like Justin Crawford, he's going to be in the Futures All-Star game, and he's an outfielder. He's a guy that's going to come along eventually. So, maybe it's less about getting a star per se. Maybe it's like for example, the Angels, they got Kevin Pillar, who's hitting almost 300 this year. Like, I don't, why not put him out there? You could tell me that Pillar and Marsh could platoon in left field, keep Rojas in center. I mean, we know Pillar could play defense, and if he's hitting, that's certainly more than Pache and Whit Merrifield. Like, Dave, I'm at the point where I would pay another team to take Merrifield off my hands. I would pay another team to be like, just take him out of here. He obviously can't play in the National League.
Yeah, I'm really I feel bad for him. It seems like there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's got off to a bad start and he's never worked his way out of it, at least not yet, and it doesn't show any signs that he's going to. He's been a major disappointment, probably the biggest disappointment of the team, along with Rojas, I think.
Now, I got to ask you, because, Dave, you've covered a lot of sports at many levels over the years. I know Philly fans are hearing about how Schwarber is out there and he's fielding balls in the outfield, and Real Muto is taking batting practice, and Harper is sprinting, and like, that's great and all, but there's a part of me, Dave, that's got to be honest. I'm like, yeah, but let's not rush these guys back. Let's not ask the 30-year-old baseball players to come back sooner than they should, just because of the fact that that you want your guys back. Maybe be a little extra careful with them.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing pretty well without him, so why rush them back? I mean, at least wait till after the All-Star break, I think. And there's been talk about getting Schwarber and Harper back a little sooner than that, but I don't see any reason to do it. I mean, granted, those guys are outstanding players, but you're right. You're risking, when you're dealing with hamstrings and groins. I mean, that's a really delicate area. I mean, you can pull a muscle again at any time. So I'd rather see them wait until at least after the All-Star break to think about bringing those guys back. I'm with you there.
Yeah, I mean, I know what part of the theory is. They really want those guys back so they can get them in the All-Star game, and the Phillies have the potential of having 3 of the 4 infielders as starters in the All-Star game. And I mean, that's just an exceptional opportunity. So I know there's a part of them that wants that, but I'm sorry. I'm not sacrificing All-Star history for potentially winning a championship.
Absolutely not. You got to look at the long-term picture here. I mean, the All-Star is cool and all, and there is a certain advantage to winning. You get home field advantage in the playoffs, I guess, or the World Series, I guess. If the winning team wins the World Series, wins the All-Star game. But yeah, you got to look big picture here. You can't be forcing those guys back just for the sake of an All-Star game. I mean, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't make any sense. Dave, a couple more before I let you go.
Sure.
You're someone who covered the Philadelphia Eagles for many years, and I got to admit, even I was surprised when the news came out today that Jason Kelce and all those guys, raised almost $900,000 just last week. I mean, to you, what does it say that Eagle fans come out in such an incredible force that they can raise that kind of money by just showing up at the OD in Sea Isle City? Like, it's a wild thing to think about, that the popularity of this team could thrust people into that big of a fundraising number.
Yeah, it truly is amazing, Josh. I mean, there are the other franchises of Philly, they go through spells where they gain popularity. The Phillies are riding pretty high right now. The Flyers have their carnival that raises a bunch of money. Sixers have some charity events as well. But yeah, I mean, the Eagles are number one in this area, and it's not even close. And that just speaks to their popularity, is the fact that they could raise that kind of money. It says a lot for Jason Kelce too. The fact that he's even after retiring, people still hold him in such high regard that they'd be willing to turn out for an event like that.
It's also impressive that, in today's world, all these athletes have podcasts, Dave. Like, it seems like every single guy's got a podcast, but the Kelce's have found a way to separate themselves, even though the let's call it the professionalism of the podcast is not exactly at the highest level. You know what I mean? If anyone who's listening to the podcast knows that, and they say and do things in that podcast that if it wasn't Jason Kelce, people would probably cringe. But it's just amazing that they have been able to differentiate themselves and grow this. I remember when that event first started a few years ago, Dave, and it was just like hey, guest bartender. That's cool. Now it's a 2-day event where they take over the whole darn town. The Eagles are in town. I mean, you had Eagles in town all week, even former Eagles like Bo Allen and Connor Barwin. I mean, it's absolutely nuts.
It is. It's turned into an event unto itself. It's really popular. Like you said, their podcast may not be the most professional, but that's part of what makes it so popular and unique is the fact that it's kind of like a no holds barred kind of deal. And they speak off the cuff a lot, which people appreciate, I think. I mean, they can cross the line maybe a little bit at times, but still, that makes even more people want to tune in. And yeah, Jason's like he's the most definitely an icon in Philadelphia now, and it seems like his wife is getting very popular too, Kylie, with their relationship, and then the events that they hold for charity. It's a really neat thing to see them to see the entire Philadelphia South Jersey community come together for that.
I mean, for you, I mean, you cover Brian Dawkins and Jason Kelsey. So like,
yep.
Does those two's popularity, is it comparable? Is it in the same category? Is Jason like, is he like in a different category now? Like, how would you describe it?
Boy, that's a good question. They're different personalities.
Yeah.
Dawkins to me he's my all-time favorite. I mean, I had to be as unbiased as I could be, but we kind of developed a friendship over the years, and Jason to some extent as well. But Brian's always going to be number one in my view. But Jason's really come close now. He's really starting to close the gap. I mean, I still put Dawkins number one, but Kelsey's kind of like maybe like 1B, maybe, I guess 1A.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I don't know if there's a right answer to it. Honestly, I just figured I'd ask because, like, I know for me, Dawkins is my favorite Eagle. If I'm going to take my professional hat off and just go, like, I love the way he carried himself. I love the way he played. I love the way he was a leader. I love the way that he was honest about the mental health stuff, and he was really a forerunner in that conversation. Like, there's so much good about Dawkins, and it's like I don't want to diminish either one, but it's like you have to start wondering, like, if you're going to raise, almost $900,000, just for Eagles autism in basically a 24-hour period, like, you guys are having the conversation, like, how popular is Jason Kelsey if people are flooding in this sea aisle and taking over the town like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's turned into a really phenomenon almost. I mean, it's just like you said, it started with such humble beginnings, and a couple people would show up watching 10 bar. His brother would swing by, and now all of a sudden it's hundreds, if not thousands, of people cramming into the sale just to interact with them.
Yeah, now his brother is too cool to actually show up. So,
well, you get the Taylor Swift stuff and all that. Although she used to hang out in Stone Harbor, so that's pretty close to CO.
Well, from what I understand, I mean, I can't confirm explicitly, but from what I understand, she's not coming down to South Jersey at all this summer. Apparently, she's too busy on the second leg of her Eras tour.
Gotcha. Oh, that's understandable.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can't complain too much because she's working,
There you go. By the way, I was on a related note. It was Deborah Harry's birthday. Blondie, lead singer. She has a house at Cape May Point, so you could swing by and wish her happy birthday if you want.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. It's funny, before I let you go, Dave, 4th of July, summertime, the amount of people who do vacation in South Jersey is pretty impressive over the years. I mean, you've seen a lot of them yourself. And I mean, you just got to wonder sometimes, like, people who don't know this area don't realize, like, the amount of people that come to South Jersey.
Yeah. As someone who just spent a half hour trying to get over the Cape May Bridge to attend an event, I can speak to the popularity of the area. I mean, it's always been that way to a degree. I mean, I'm sure LBI has a different kind of crowd, maybe a more New York centric kind of people that go there, but South Jersey from Atlantic County, from Brigantine on down to Cape May Point, just flooded this weekend with people, and even from all over the country. You got the South from Washington and Baltimore area, New York, Philadelphia, of course. People from even like as far south as Florida. It's It's incredible the amount of people that come in here. It's great for vendors, great for the merchants, but it does make parking a bit of a challenge. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely if you can save your parking spot, leave your car there and never move it. That was the rule when I used to live on the islands myself. Now I have the opposite role. Now that I don't live on the islands anymore, I stay away from the islands for the holidays.
There you go. Avoid the traffic. I got you.
Yeah, exactly. Dave Weinberg Wednesday extra point columns at 97.3 ESPN.com at Dave Weinberg 19 on Twitter X. They joined me here for another edition. Dave, stay safe. Enjoy the 4th of July holiday, and we'll talk soon.
Same to you, Josh. Thanks again as always. I really appreciate it. Talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Dave Weinberg joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. And, Dave is the perfect person to ask about the Jason Kelce's popularity because, Dave is someone who has seen the world before Jeffrey Lurie became the owner and the world after Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie became the owner. And he knows as well as anyone that, Philadelphia Eagle fans never had it this good. And Dawkins, he was drafted before even Andy Reid got here, right? And his popularity, I always felt like Brian Dawkins was the most popular Eagles player I had ever seen in my life. Like, the only player in Philadelphia, if you go back into the last 40 years, I'm just putting out a number out there, like the three most popular athletes in Philadelphia at one point, before the most recent years, was like Allen Iverson, Brian Dawkins, and depending on who you ask, but Darren Dalton, right? And then when the Phillies big three came around, they kind of like split the fan base. Like some people loved Utley, some people loved Hamels or Rollins or Howard. But none of them really got to the level that like the Iversons and the Dawkins did. And now you have Jason Kelce in recent years, and it feels like this dude is the rock star of all rock stars. And we're going to ask Shannon Brower from Bright Spot Cafe coming up next. What does Jason Kelce eat? What does a retired NFL player eat? Because we know he drank a lot of alcohol Wednesday and Thursday. So what did Jason Kelce eat before he started downing all that alcohol? Well, our Seize the Deal.com opportunity this week is Bright Spot Cafe Friday at 9 a.m. We'll talk more about that with Shannon Brower, co-owner of Bright Spot Cafe, next year on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card good for use at Bright Spot Cafe in Sea Isle City for just $25.
Get this great deal starting Friday at 9 a.m. at SeizeTheDeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to SeizeTheDeal.com.
SeizeTheDeal.com.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16. And get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Krispies. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
It's the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event going on now at Matt Black Nissan. You'll be thrilled in a new Nissan Sentra S, just $159 per month lease, or Kicks S, just $199 per month lease, and 0 security deposit.
Oh, yeah, it's on at Matt Black Nissan.
You heard right. New Matt Black Nissan Kicks S, just $199 per month, or Sentras, only $159 per month lease, both with 0 security deposit, $29.99 due, and you'll be cruising up to 39 miles per gallon. Stuck in a loan or lease? AJ the Trade Man can get you released, so don't repair it, don't fix the broken windshield, don't even wash it. Bring it to Matt Black Nissan.com. Open 9 to 5 on 4th of July. On approved Tier 1 credit for NEMAC. Negative equity will be refinanced into new vehicle plus tax tag and $589 doc fee. Offers can't be combined. Call 877-289-6670 or go to mattblacknissan.com for complete details. VIN RY324390 and RI498444. Central lease selling price $21,570. Kicks lease selling price $22,840. Offer ends 7/6/2024. It's on at Matt Black Nissan on the Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman's brother, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet. Because we all know our pits aren't the only places we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. Her patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 5-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando whole body deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 555 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 555. Go to shopmando.com, code 555, for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 555.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like you heard about a July 4th sale. It's a great chance to red, white, and do that job you've been putting off. Like an oil change with full synthetic motor oil. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum with an STP extended life oil filter for just $34.99. Save on oil, wash and wax, and more this weekend at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hey, Jen, I just stopped in to say hello, and oh my goodness, look how busy it is in here. How do you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker for us. For a long time, we had decent business coming in from word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of new folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific, man. I wish I could figure out how to do that for my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses like yours. If you see that there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
There's only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free.
Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com. ESPN.com.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennick on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Josh Hennick here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM, 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City. Speaking of Sea Isle City, Bright Spot Cafe is this week's Seize the Deal. Friday morning, 9 a.m., seizethedeal.com. And joining me right now is the co-owner of Bright Spot Cafe, Shannon Brower. Shannon, how you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thanks for having me today, Josh.
So let's talk about Bright Spot, because for our station, Eagles affiliate here down at the shore, and you had the opportunity to not just see the Eagles take over in Seattle, but the Eagles actually showed up at Bright Spot Cafe, 40th and Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. So let's first start with Tuesday, when you had not one, but two of the Eagles Super Bowl champions, Jason Kelce and Bo Allen, stop by. So for the audience out there, what does Jason Kelce and Bo Allen order on the day where they're planning to go work out?
I was actually very surprised, but they ordered what we call our Jersey Blue Devil, which is a sandwich. It is the healthiest sandwich that we offer. It is egg whites, turkey sausage, and Swiss cheese on multigrain toast. And that comes with our signature home fries made with real Yukon Gold potatoes every morning. They're delicious. But they both got an additional side of fruit, and they split an Elvis toast, which is peanut butter, Nutella, bananas, walnuts, honey. So really like just healthy proteins and a good fuel for their workout.
So what was more surprising, them ordering that kind of meal on a Tuesday or them showing up on the mopeds?
Definitely the mopeds, because there's just something fabulous about seeing a man that broad wearing his little helmet and just hanging out the sides of the moped. But it definitely, all of the servers that day were at the window in no time when they saw two big guys pull up. And it's Bo Allen's hair just goes on for days. It's pretty epic. So it was very exciting to see them roll up, and they were super kind. They actually sat on the corner of 40th and Landis outside on Farmers Market Day. So they could not have been more conspicuous with the place they chose to sit. And they were bothered the entire time by people coming for pictures, and they were so very kind about it.
See, to me, that's the big part of the conversation, is that we all have seen, in me in the media, you working in the restaurant world, the difference between the people who are celebrities, they're well known, who are good people, and the people who are not so good people. And it's always good to highlight, that, hey, Bo Allen, Jason Kelce just didn't come to eat, but they were nice to people. They were friendly, took pictures with your staff. It's always nice to mention that, hey, these might, like, Jason Kelce, the most popular Eagle maybe all time at this point. Yeah. But it's like, he's also like a nice human being, which is like an extra plus in the column.
This might sound really silly, but what meant a lot to me is the following day was their big Eagles Autism fundraiser at the OD, and Mama Kelce was out front at the poorhouse taking pictures on the steps for almost an hour. So we all sort of took turns going down and taking pictures with Mama Kelce. She even said, "Oh my gosh, you're from Bright Spot. My son ate there yesterday." So it was just that real moment of a mother-son interaction, that he enjoyed his meal enough that he talked to his mom about it. That's as much of a compliment as having his picture on the wall.
Bright Spot Cafe this week, Seize the Deal, Friday morning, 9 a.m. Get it at seizethedeal.com. Bright Spot Cafe in Sea Isle City at the corner of 40th and Landis Avenue. So Tuesday, Jason and Bo show up. All right. Wednesday is Kelsey's event, where like there's a line around the block outside the OD and Patty's Green. You said Mama Kelce was there, the whole 9 yards. By the way, you can check out all the pictures from the event over at 973ESPN.com. I wrote that article as well, but shameless plug. But then Thursday, Bo Allen returned with a completely different order. I think this is where people need to understand. Yeah, Bright Spot Cafe, it's farm to table food, great food, but it's not just healthy food. So tell people what Bo Allen orders when it's not healthy food day.
Oh, Thursday morning, he was quite hungover. And he ordered our carousel breakfast, which is a little bit of everything: eggs, meat, those home fries. He wanted the bacon gravy, which just is the best hangover cure ever. I mean, it starts with bacon fat. What else? I mean, is there something better for curing an upset stomach than some good heavy bacon fat? But literally when he ordered his breakfast, he said that he had 80 drinks the day prior, which is pretty impressive no matter who you are. But he ordered a shotgun with one slug as a side because that's how great he was feeling that morning. But I thanked him so much for coming back because he really did. He saw the whole array of our menu. And the fact that he enjoyed himself enough on Tuesday that he wanted to come back is a huge compliment.
So Bright Spot Cafe, not just the healthy food, but you got your regular, I know sometimes you and I have talked before about how it's kind of American diner, but it's kind of not American diner. It's kind of more like a modern diner, I think is probably the better term. And I think that's where people like they see these labels, right? They go online, they see like how things are categorized, or like they read a Google review and they don't really know, right? But you talked about how Bo Allen, he saw the menu on Tuesday and he was like, well, I know where I'm going after I've pounded 80 drinks, which now my question though is when he said he had 80 drinks, do you think he actually had 80 drinks, or do you think he just lost count at a certain point and just assumed he had 80 drinks?
I'm going to say probably that, though. I saw the trays of the Jell-O shots going out, and I think they can probably down 4 or 5 Jell-O shots at once, and that shouldn't count as one drink, I wouldn't think. But I'm not built like Bo Allen, so who knows?
Talking with Shannon Brower. She's the co-owner of Bright Spot Cafe on the corner of 40th and Landis Avenue in Sea City. Now, the cool thing about Bright Spot is, yes, you have breakfast and lunch, but you are also open late night during the summer months. So what can people expect if they come to Seattle and they're kind of just meandering around town, right? They're bouncing. Because for those who don't know Seattle very well, or those who do and just kind of maybe temporarily forget, everything is very centrally located. I mean, you can literally walk in a 3-4 block radius and hit 90% of the drinking establishments, shall we call them, in town. So if someone's coming to town, they're out late night, and they know Bright Spot's open, what can they expect? For example, July 4th weekend and the rest of July on the weekends?
So we have a really easy grab and go window on Landis. It's right across from where the jitney drops you off and picks you up. So you can't beat the convenience of that. But we just have an abbreviated menu that's full of food that drunk people love. So everything from chicken fingers and cheesesteaks to some breakfast sandwiches, because, a pork roll, egg, and cheese at 2 a.m. is sometimes a great choice. We're 2 blocks from the Wawa, but our food is so much better, and it comes out fresh. And we still have probably 15 items on there for you, bacon cheeseburgers, cheese tots, and the good stuff, that exactly what you need at that time of night. But also, if you aren't drunk, but maybe looking to get, your snack on, we're there till 3 a.m. on the big nights. So come on out.
And of course, I cannot forget the character breakfasts, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, right? So, talk about that, because that's a whole nother dynamic for the families, when they'll bring their kids out for breakfast. Talk about that for everybody.
So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we have interactive character breakfasts. So it's a different theme every day. Monday is Movie Star Mondays, where we have the likes of Spider-Man and Barbie. Wednesdays, we always have a singing princess. So your Ariels, your Belles, your Frozen princesses, Elsa and Anna. And then Fridays is just some of the classics. So Mickey, Minnie, Buzz Lightyear. But they come out, they sing, they do trivia, they have one-on-one time at your table. We serve Mickey Mouse pancakes because why not? It's just perfect, and they're delicious and fluffy and made to order. But it's something fun for the kids to do. It kills a couple of hours if you want to mix up your day. And also, if the weather's not great, it's a good way to keep them entertained.
All right, and before I let you go, let's circle it back to the Eagles stuff, because now that you have seen personally how a football player eats, is there a part of you now that looks at that and maybe looks at football players a little differently? Because you're not a diehard sports fan like Tommy is. Tommy is a diehard Eagles fan. But is there a part of you that now looks at the way these guys eat and maybe looks at them a little differently, be like, okay, maybe that answers this question? Or maybe a part of you that says, I didn't really think they could eat that much food, or they ate like that.
So believe it or not, Tommy and I, before we did Bright Spot Cafe, we actually worked for an organization that did a lot of sports catering. So even on my wedding day, I got a call from the Pittsburgh Penguins because they were having a practice the next day and they needed to order their food. We fed Villanova boys basketball in the year they won the championship. So we were working with a dietitian to put together the meals that really help athletes excel. So I guess I just didn't think about the spillover from that, from what we're doing every day in the restaurant to, how people are fueling their lives. But especially at this time of year, people are so very active and athletic and they're out, running and biking and all that. So it is really cool to think about our food fueling their vacation and their memories.
Again, Bright Spot Cafe, corner of 40th and Landis Avenue in Sea Isle City. This week, Seize the Deal. SeizeTheDeal.com goes live Friday at 9 a.m. Of course, 50% off is the deal each and every week at SeizeTheDeal.com. And that's Bright Spot Cafe joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Thanks to Shannon Brower for joining me here in the studio. Her and Tommy. Tommy's a huge Eagles fan, diehard Birds fan. So if you see Tommy over there at the restaurant on 40th and Landis Avenue, he'll be more than glad to talk about some birds with you down in Sea Isle City. Yeah, just because the Eagles are no longer invading the town doesn't mean, whether it's 4th of July weekend or any other weekend, when the summer months, head down to Sea Isle. Go check out the great food down there they have at Bright Spot Cafe. Seize the Deal at 9 a.m. this Friday morning. The 50% off Bright Spot Cafe gift certificates. So, all right, before we get out of here, 4th of July, we will not be live tomorrow or Friday this week. So before we get out of here, one quick thought on the Sixers. Because I have seen a lot of people expressing, I will refer to it as consternation about the fact that there's this attitude of, well, all they did was add Paul George. All they did was add Eric Gordon. Mike Gill and I were talking about this earlier on the Sports Bash here on 97.3 ESPN. Last year, Drew Holiday wasn't acquired until a couple weeks before the NBA season even started by the Boston Celtics. Daryl Morey didn't trade James Harden until basically training camp last year. The 76ers are not going to have to make this roster by July 3rd. Can we just have a little patience? Can we just exercise a little bit of wait and see before we hyper judge this team? I mean, the NBA offseason has slowed down so much that people like Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams Charania, two of the biggest names in NBA reporting, they're doing full-blown reports about PJ Dozier and Alec Burks. Things have slowed down for a reason, because now that we got the first big wave moving on, now teams are kind of reevaluating where they're at. And I will choose to be a little more patient and let this play out. And just because Paul George wasn't the guy that I wanted doesn't mean that I'm not willing to let this play out and see what happens before I make any gross judgments on the 76ers. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Day. Please be safe for 4th of July weekend. Have a great night, everybody.
You have the choice, whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant or buying that new outfit from a local boutique. Those choices help to put money back into your community. Town Square Media South Jersey proudly puts a spotlight on local businesses.
First Bank of Sea Isle City, Cape May County's community bank. Philly Marble and the Philly Marble and Tile Outlet, Philadelphia Avenue and Route 30 in Egg Harbor City. Visit phillymarble.com. Jenkins Plumbing and Heating. Call Jenkins for heating and air conditioning installation, service and maintenance, plumbing, or drain cleaning service. 609-641-6440 or JenkinsPlumbingandHeating.com. The Nizam's authentic Indian cuisine. They are waiting to serve you. Dr. Lyle M. Back. For everything from skincare to cosmetic surgery, go to ILoveLyleBack.com. And J&M Elite Contractors Roofing and Siding. Check out their great reviews at jmelitecontractors.com.
Thank you for supporting your local businesses from Town Square Media, South Jersey.